بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين ورحمة الله وبركاته. Tonight we commemorate the 40th night after the martyrdom of Imam Husayn alayhi Salam, and we offer our condolences to Imam Mahdi al-Jalal Ta'ala Farajah al-Sharif and all the mourners of Abu Abdullah alayhi Salam. There are different aspects to Arbaeen, and I thought this year I would have some reflections on the Ziyarah of Arbaeen. But before that, I want to just remind ourselves of one point, which can be one of the characteristics of martyrdom of Imam Husayn in the way we commemorate this martyrdom. We try to remember all the people who have given their lives to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Any martyr is significant. Any believer who also gave his life to good causes and spent with Iman his or her life, that is also significant. But in a special way, we try to remember the people who were killed unjustly. But it seems one of the things that is exclusive to Imam Husayn is one of the, as we say, khasa'is for Imam Husayn, is that we don't only commemorate the martyrdom of Imam Husayn in his actual day or night of martyrdom. So it's not that only one night and day, 24 hours is dedicated to commemoration of Imam Husayn. For others, maybe we do that. And maybe you can have extra, but normally it's 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. But when it comes to Imam Husayn alayhi salam, the musibah is so great, the tragedy is so great, and also the role that mourning for Imam Husayn has to play is so great that it's not enough just to do everything in 24 hours or 48 hours or 72 days. It should get more of our time. But there are two pillars in this period of commemoration. One pillar is the day of Ashura, the other is Arbaeen. These two are pillars. These mark maybe beginning of a period and end of a period, or you can say even can be a few days before, a few days after, but these are 2 points that should never be missed. So if you miss any day, at least the day of Ashura and the day of Arbaeen should not be missed. These are 2 pillars. We don't have such a thing for other Imams, that we commemorate their martyrdom in their Arbaeen, their 40th. We don't have such thing. but it's for Imam Husayn alayhi salam. What's the reason? There are reasons that we can mention, but those reasons, some of them can be applicable to other Imams as well. For example, whatever we say about the number 40 can be also applicable to others. There seems to be a special reason here for Imam Husayn. Some may explain it by referring to some historical facts. For example, 40 is significant here because that's the day, according to some narrations, Ahlul Bayt arrived in Karbala. Or according to some narration, that's the day Ahlul Bayt left Sham. Or that's the day Jabir and Atiyah arrived Karbala. But I don't think these are enough and sufficient reasons to say why for Imam Husayn we have Arbaeen. And why we have Ziyarah of Arbaeen as a sign of Mu'min. There must be something special. Maybe the Imam for whom we have a special duty of mourning is Imam Husayn. We mourn for martyrdom of Amirul Mu'mineen, we mourn for martyrdom of Imam Hassan. But mourning for Imam Husayn has a special role. And in my understanding, plays a historical role in our destiny as a community. Therefore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala seems that He has designed for us a period that reaches up to 40 days so that we know that this tragedy is nothing that we can fulfill its rights only in 1 day, 2 days, 10 days. And perhaps also something that gives us opportunity to plan how to do something locally and how to do something internationally. Over years, at least we know from the time of Sheikh Ansari, it has been a practice that Mu'mineen try to go to Karbala on Arbaeen. But now, alhamdulillah, in the recent years, this has become an international phenomenon. Not only it's great to see millions of people, today I heard maybe 25 million people would be going for Ziyarah of Arbaeen, but more important than number is the quality. And people go there and they describe a kind of a spirit which is very special, a spirit of forgetting everything of dunya. Even if you are poor, even if you are facing lots of difficulties, it seems in these days all the concerns go away and you just want to serve and help. Even the same people, maybe if you go 1 month before or after, they would not have that kind of treatment for you, that kind of hospitality. They are good, but it seems hearts are prepared. For the people who are there, their hearts are prepared to welcome and offer whatever they have. For the hearts who are other places, they are prepared to leave everything and go and just walk. Not to go by car or by plane, just to have very, very simple way of ziyarah. So maybe this was part of the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that if we had only Ashura, then we were confused. What should we do? Should we all go there or be here? But now we have a combination. We can do everything locally in Ashura, in Muharram, and then also have something as a big international gathering in Arbaeen. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept the ziyarah of all the Zuwar of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam who are there, And we pray that inshallah they would return home safely, and they would inshallah take so much of blessing and light that then they can enlighten our community worldwide, inshallah. Just few sentences from this ziyarah. As you know, this is the ziyarah that Sheikh Tusi rahmatullah alayh in his Tahdhib al-Ahkam, which is one of our 4 collections of hadith, and also in Misbah al-Mutahajjid, which is a book of dua, has mentioned from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. Safwan, whose title was Jamal, because he used to hire or rent camels, he says, I have heard this from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, that when the sun has actually risen and it's beginning of morning, you say this ziyarah. As-salamu ala waliyillahi wa habibihi. Peace be upon the wali of Allah, the one who has guardianship from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Quran talks about Allah being wali of believers. Allahu waliyul ladina amanu. Also, there are some believers who are wali of Allah. Inna awliya Allah. It's mutual. In the discussion about wilaya, we say wilaya is mutual. Allah is wali, but also there are people who are awliyaullah. As-salamu ala waliyillahi wa habibihi. The one who is also habib means he is loved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is mahbub of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As-salamu ala khalilillahi wa najibihi. Peace be upon the one who is a friend of Allah, in the sense that Allah has adopted him as his friend. Like, وَاتَّخَذَ اللَّهُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ خَلِيلًا. So Imam Husayn has inherited this friendship from Ibrahim. So he himself is also Khalil. You cannot inherit this unless you also become Khalil. وَالنَّجِيبِهِ, the one who is selected and chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As-salamu ala Safiyyillahi wa ibn Safiyyih. Peace be upon the one who is chosen. Again, Safi and Najib both mean selection. Selected by Allah, and is the son of the one who was also selected. So, it's a merit, it's an honor, which is not new in that family. It's an honor in a family which was already honored by the father, by Amirul Mu'minin being also chosen. As-salamu ala al-Husayn al-Madhlum al-Shahid. Peace be upon Imam Husayn, who was Madhlum. And this is, I think, very important. He was the one who was not given his due rights. I think we can reflect in many different ways about Imam Husayn being Madhlum. Part of it is the injustice which was committed by Bani Umayyah. And that injustice was a great injustice. Sometimes they deprive you from some of your rights. But sometimes they deprive you and your family and your friends and associates of your rights. And sometimes it happens in one generation, sometimes it happens in generations. For centuries, not only Imam Husayn and his family and Shia in that time, anyone who has had any love and connection to Imam Husayn is mistreated. Even today, innocent pilgrims who are not, carrying any weapon, who are not, doing any harm. They just want to go and visit Imam Hussein. They are being killed and attacked. So the level and scope of zulm against Imam Hussein is not something which is only directed to him. He is so mazloom that even today, if you say, I want to visit his grave, you may get killed. This is the mazlumiyah of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam. But his mazlumiyah is not only also coming from enemies. There were many people who claimed that they actually loved him. They sent letters to him to invite him. I'm sure if you were asking them, are you enemy of Hussein? They would say no. We love him, we invited him, we wrote to him. But even these people did zulm. They actually prepared the situation and environment and setting for Yazid and his army. Had it not been that they sent invitation, Imam would not have gone to that direction. So even those weak lovers who had no loyalty, they did also zulm to Abu Abdullah alayhi salam. And I am also worried that maybe we are also somehow doing zulm to Imam Husayn alayhi salam if we do not present him in the way that he deserves. If I say I am a follower of Abu Abdullah, I am a Shia of Abu Abdullah, and I am not able to live up to that level, this is also zulm. Or if I give a lecture, I don't know, write something about Imam Hussein, I produce something, and it doesn't fit into his caliber, this is also zulm. And it's a question, I don't want to make any judgment, but we can think about it. How much responsibility we have towards Imam Hussein, and how much we have fulfilled that responsibility. If you have a great example for values and virtues, and you are not able to understand yourself enough, and you are not able to present him enough, and you are not able to follow him enough, it's a great zulm. May Allah save us from doing zulm to Imam Hussein. As-salamu ala asir al-kurubat wa qatil al-abarat. Peace be upon you who is surrounded by difficulties. Asir al-kurubat. The difficulties that happened to Imam Hussein alayhi salam were not a little, were not few. In number and in intensity, he faced great difficulties, great challenges and sufferings. To the extent that we say, لَقَدْ عَظُمَتْ جَلَّتْ وَعَظُمَتْ مُصِيبَتُكَ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْمُصِيبَةَ مَا أَعْظَمْهَا وَأَعْظَمَ رَزِيَّتْهَا فِي الْإِسْلَامِ. So he was surrounded, he was like a captive in the hands of calamities. He was surrounded by calamities. وَقَتِيلَ الْعَبَرَاتِ. He is also a murderer for whom you can have no limit in the tears that you want to shed. It's a martyr that tears should be shed for his martyrdom. Allahumma inni ashhadu annahu waliyuka wabnu waliyik. After talking first to Imam Husayn and saying these few salams to him, then we address Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we say, "Oh Allah, I bear witness that he is your wali and the son of your wali. He is your Safi, the one who is chosen, and the son of the one who was chosen. Al-Fa'izu bi karamatik." Imam Husayn alayhi salam managed to achieve your karam. Al-Fa'izu bi karamatik. He obtained your gift of honor, a special gift. Of course, Allah has honored all human beings. لَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. Allah has especially honored muttaqeen. إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. But this is very special on top of all those types of honor. أَكْرَمْتَهُ بِالشَّهَادَةِ. You have honored him with martyrdom. And it's very interesting, just a few days ago when I had some program in Edmonton, Canada, we had discussion with our Christian friends. And for them also the term martyr means witness. Even in Greek language, the same word which is used for martyr means witness. And we have also this. So, Shaheed is a witness. But witness about what? There are different ways to explain. Normally, the way it is said is that because the one who is killed is present, so he is witnessing what is happening. But maybe there is another way to understand how Shaheed is witness. Shaheed is the one that lived such a life that in his life and martyrdom he is a witness for the truth of the message that he believed in. So if I believe, for example, in honor for humanity, and all my life I work and struggle for humanity to have honor, and I die in this path, then you can say this person in his entire presence among us, he was a witness. Yeah? So who is martyr? Our focus goes that he is not with us now, but the focus is not this. The focus is he has been always a witness for the message, for the truth that he believed in. And still we can benefit from him. His mark on us, on humanity, still is there. So he's still present. But the main thing is that he lived such a life that he offered his testimony. He was a witness. أكرمته بالشهادة وحبوته بالسعادة. You also gifted him with happiness, with felicity. He achieved actually highest level of felicity, because you don't need to be like Imam Husayn to have sa'adah. Even true followers can have sa'adah. But this is a special sa'adah. It's a high level of sa'adah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted Imam Husayn alayhi salam because of his sacrifice. وَاجْتَبَيْتَهُ بِطِيبِ الْوِلَادَةِ. You chose him with very pure birth. This purity of birth has different dimensions. And maybe this is my last point, because we want to also benefit. Purity of birth is not just having a legitimate child. Of course, that's very important. When father, mother are married, they are committed, and child is known to which family belongs, this is important, very, very important. But this is not the only dimension of purity of birth. When we say طيب الولادة for Imam Husayn salam, perhaps it means something more than that. It means that you are born to a family that family from every aspect is pure. Not only you are born to a married, loyal mother and father, but you are born to a family that أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. So, if they decided to have a child, it was for the sake of Allah. When the mother was looking after this child and carrying this child in pregnancy, was with purity. When they were feeding this child, was with purity. When they were upbringing this child, with purity. This is the child born to a family that Allah removed any immoral, any impure behavior or intention or thoughts or food from them. Now imagine when someone is born already in this context, then what can grow? You know, in Iran we have a place that they make rose water. So what they do is they put a special rose that has very good fragrance into water, and then they boil it. Then the steam through some pipes goes to another container, and they make it cool. Then it becomes liquid. So that is rose water. Okay? The steam, when it is made cool, it's rose water. So water mixed with rose, you boil it, then a steam, then you make it liquid, then it's rose water. Then, if you want a very good rose water, next time you boil rose water and steam and make it cool, and then they call it du'ateshe. It's twice it has become steam and then water. So it's very, very then pure. And the smell is beautiful. So Imam Husayn alayhi salam is from a mother and father who each of them are pure already. So you can imagine what happens to you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to follow the example of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam in every aspect of our life. And may Allah inshallah grant us tawfiq to live such a life that when people